Michelle Rodriguez, and I am a New Mexico pre-K teacher for the Las Cruces Public School District, and we are completely online learning this year.
So my name is Alex Reese, and I am the early childhood instructional coach. This will be the second year that I coach Michelle, and we participate in practice-based coaching.
I love practice-based coaching. I really do. I usually think of what I want, and then we kind of go to the menu of practices to say, where does this skill or this teaching practice fit in?
So all of this coaching is tied to evidence and research-based teaching practices. In this case, the state of New Mexico, we developed a menu of practices that meet two big domains, literacy domains and social emotional domains, because that's the focus and the main goals of our state right now. And the literacy practices come from our professional development that we provide for teachers in the area of literacy, and the social emotional practices come from the pyramid model and from the teapot. Another thing that we've done in New Mexico is, as we've become a WIDA state in early childhood, we went back and incorporated into all of the practices components that would ensure that they were culturally and linguistically responsive. Another thing that we did also was identify which practices were best delivered or could be captured easily in remote learning, which ones could be captured in hybrid learning, and which ones were really best captured in face-to-face learning. We were able to streamline the process so that teachers can really focus in on practices that would support specifically this remote learning opportunity. And if we can move to hybrid, pick practices that would support that function. And then, of course, when we go back to in-person, the whole menu lends itself to any practice.
And so Alex is really good at being able to say, well, that could fit into this one or this one. So let's look at that goal just a little bit more. What is it exactly that you're wanting to get out of it? And then we're able to choose from there. So then once I choose my goal, I'm able to really dive in to see what is that going to look like in practice. And so I have a big goal, and then I have the action steps that can be very simple. So for example, when I was creating my schedule, it was, okay, what is this schedule going to look like? Let me think about, how do I want this to be? Do I want it to be paper? Do I want it to be virtual? And then it was like, okay, now let's break it down. What pictures am I going to use? Now I have to make the tool. Now I have to introduce it to the kids. And then we can practice it. So it really takes a really big goal and break it down to very manageable tasks. I mean, things that you know you can accomplish. Like, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. But because we do it in 2-week cycles, it's accountability on my part. So it's not like, oh, I do want to do that, but I just didn't get around to it. So to me, I feel like coaching holds me accountable to the goals that I'm setting for myself, to better my teaching practices in the classroom. And so that accountability to know, okay, I've set a date, I need to have this done by here.
Once that's done, then I record a video of whatever the practice was. And we use Torch Talent as the platform for our practice-based coaching. So Torch is a wonderful tool. It's easy to use, and it really helps me to reflect on my teaching practices. I have installed the Torch app on my iPad, my computer, and my phone. So depending on what I want to record, I always have a convenient way to do it.
When I use the app, I just hit record and it automatically captures it. I can go back, watch it, and edit the videos very quickly by using the little tools at the bottom to just capture the part that Alex needs to see. Because of course, I always video a bigger portion, so I'm not starting and stopping video. So I clip it down to that part, and it's uploaded within seconds, minutes. It doesn't take very long. And then as soon as it's uploaded, then I can actually go in, open it up, and then start watching it and making my comments in there.
The state pays for all of the seats for the teachers to participate in Torch, but the videos are Michelle's property. She has to share that video with me, and then I gain access to her video. So teachers have a lot of control. They can record themselves every day and only choose the 5-minute or 3 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever content they want to share with me. And I think that in itself is a reflective practice. So coaching in essence is occurring all the time. It's not just in the coaching session, because there's so many things you have to do along the way before our meeting that required that self-reflection.
So for example, when I log in to Torch, this is what we see. There's a couple of different places that we go. Usually it's the coaching corner and my videos and files. In the coaching corner is where we will be able to find my previous goals. So it's going to have all of my active goals right here. And then at the bottom, you're going to see all of the goals that I've mastered through the cycles. I can take you through the last goal that we had done. So my goal, it was the teaching practice I will work on is giving children an opportunity to choose how they would like to be greeted by providing pictures. I'll work on this practice in large group morning meeting feelings check-in. I'll work on this teaching practice with Miss Sanchez and my team. I'll record myself providing them with the choice of how they want to be greeted. And then I know I'll have met my goal when I have introduced the greeting choices and children are participating by choosing their greeting. So that's the big goal that we create. And then down here in our menu of practices, it'll tell you what that practice links back to, offering general guidance to children and selecting activities or materials to promote their engagement. And then on this next side, this is where I go through and I create my mini action steps. So for example, I know that the next time that we're going to meet is on October the 13th. So I have to have all of that done by that time. So then I break down, what is this goal going to look like? First, I need to meet with my team so we can pick our greetings. We're going to create a folder for visual cues for picture greetings. I'll introduce it and then I record it. So it's very simple steps that I know are very manageable and that I can do. We can go to my videos and files. And so this one here, it would open up and then you'll see these little dots down here are comments that are time stamped. The blue ones are the comments that I make, and then the green ones are the feedback that Alex gives us. And then during our coaching session, we go back through the video and then we go down through the comments so you can see some of the comments that I make. So I kind of try to paint a picture of what it looked like prior to the video. I let her know what we've continued doing. And then Alex, she'll put like, I noticed you gave 2 clear choices. And so for me, that's very helpful to have that feedback from someone else looking at it from a different perspective. Because of course, when I'm in the moment, I'm seeing what I'm doing and I'm just looking at it from me. So it's nice to have that other set of eyes. You know, I noticed you gave clear directions. And for me, it was great because sometimes I question myself, like, was that clear? Was it not clear? You know, I guess you're harder on yourself when you go back and watch the videos and you're all, I don't know if I did that. So it's nice to have that. So a lot of these questions are the ones that we go through in our coaching sessions, or sometimes I'll try to start answering them beforehand. So I'm going to go ahead and play a video for you so you can kind of see how the timestamp works. And then what you're going to see is as we go through the video, the timestamps are going to come up on the side here with the comments that relate.
So remember yesterday in our morning meeting, we told you there was going to be something new today, right? Do you remember? Who remembers? Say me. Me, right? I remember. Remember we said we were going to show you a folder and you were going to get to choose how you wanted to be greeted when it's your turn.
So for example, here now in the timestamp, you can see where Alex said, I noticed you recalled what they had discussed the day before to help guide instruction.
So let's remember, if you want the green side, that's a what? Away, right? And if you wanted the blue side, what was that one?
Your hat out. What?
That's right. We put our hat out and then back on. That's a hat tip. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn our microphones to mute. Miss Sanchez is still gonna call on you, but I'm gonna hold this up so that way you remember which way you want to be greeted, okay? So when I count to 3, all microphones should be on mute. Are you ready?
So Alex, how does this collaborative approach support the teaching team and how instruction is developed or designed? And in this part of the day, Ms. Sanchez usually does the check-in with them. So I wanted the kids to know that that part of the day wasn't going to change. I was just going to help with the visuals. So in that collaborative approach, it really helps the kids to understand that there's multiple teachers. It helps them to build the relationships with both of us. So to me, it's important that I'm not the only one that's doing the instruction all the time on Zoom so that the kids see and hear from the other teachers as well. They're really great questions to get me thinking more in depth about the teaching practice.
When I get a video, I'm getting a couple of minutes in a bigger picture. So I always ask them to provide a reflection, to just type out what their overall impression of the activity was or the lesson, how they thought it went, obstacles they faced, what went really well. I watch the whole video first once because I just want to understand everything that's happening. I don't make comments. I don't do anything except just watch it. So what I will do then is I will go back to her goal, read her goal, and say, did she meet the practice? Yes or no, the things she wanted to focus on. Depending on what the practice is, I'll often get like a little chart. I'll watch it again very carefully. I normally save the feedback to our in-person debrief, but mainly I'll just ask questions and make observations. I will note, you did this. I noticed you did that. Tell me a little bit more about why you did this. Sometimes the video will answer those questions, but if I need more clarifying information, then I'll go ahead and ask those as well. And I try to carefully match up the comment to the moment in the video when that action happens, so that if we go back, we can very easily click on those bubbles and take us right into that moment in the video, which is very time saving, because otherwise you have to watch the video over and over and hope you have the right moment. So if I said, what has this check-in added to the instructional session? If she clicks on that button, it'll take us to that part of the video.
I'd like to be greeted. Good. How would you like to be greeted this morning? Active.
So that's an example of, I would say, that little boy checking in and greeting, what has that done? Now moving on. And so now we don't have to go through the whole video. I can go to that moment in time. And so it's a very nifty little tool. And usually at the end of the video, if I feel that the practice has been met, I tag it to just kind of mark it with, that's what this video has reflected, just so that it's another reminder. At the end of the day, did you offer general guidance to children in selecting activities or materials that promoted their engagement? And I always put that there so we don't lose sight of what the bigger picture is. It's always about the practice. And then we debrief via Zoom and have continued conversations. Some of the questions Michelle will answer in the moment, and some she'll save, and she'll say, you know what, I've been thinking about that, or I thought about that all weekend. And that's the value of the coaching session, at least how I feel, is that time that she's thinking about it, internalizing it, going over in her mind, asking herself, why did I do it this way? Why did that work so well? Why didn't that work so well? And if there's a teachable moment or an opportunity for me to model or do a little mini professional development, we'll do that. But it is very much driven by the teacher. So I always ask, what do you want your class to look like in 2 weeks? And then that sometimes will guide us to the next goal. Or I will say, now what is the most challenging part of your day? And then that'll drive us. And then also data from your student ECOT data. Where would you like to go now? So we always use data as a platform to see where we want to go next. My goal is that practice-based coaching provides teachers with a place and a time to do those things that you have in your mind, that you know you want to do, that you wish you could try. I hope that I'm able to provide a safe place and the time where they can do that.
Thinking about practice-based coaching and using Torch, I feel like it really allows me to be reflective. It allows me to really think about what is it that I want the classroom to look like, and really takes and makes it very manageable so that it's not overwhelming and something that I don't feel like I can accomplish. It makes it very easy for me to say, this is my vision. This is what I want it to look like. This is the path that I'm going to go on, and we're going to hope it works. And if it doesn't, that's okay, because we can come back and we can revisit it and see what worked, what didn't work, and then continue working to build and solidify practices that are going to provide the best outcomes for the kids in the classroom.